Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Steve Byrne here, aka PopandFresh87, that's what I go by on Xbox and Twitch. Welcome back to another video of the What If series, and in this particular episode we are placing Manchester United in League 2 and giving them 5 years to get back to the Premier League and see if they can win any major trophies along the way. Now, we're not deducting any financial power from them, so they will have the exact same finance that they would have in the Premier League all the way into League 2. So with that being said, let's go and take a look. As expected, Manchester United absolutely dominated League 2. They played 46 games, won 42, only drew 4 and lost none. So they're undefeated in this season, and they scored 130 goals, only conceded 19, and have a massive goal difference of 111. So that leaves them with 130 points to Colchester, who finished second at 83. So you could say they absolutely dominated League 2. So let's go and have a look at their transfer dealings, if any. So in the first season in League 2, Manchester United decided to strengthen and bring in Amad Diallo from Atalanta for 23 million. But they did sell a few players as well. They sold Nemanja Matic to Hertha Berlin for 16.25 million. Daniel James went to Palace for 11. Phil Jones was then sold to Lille for 7 million. And Timothy Fosu-Mensah was sold to AZ Alkmaar for 2.7. And as we see below, there's a few reserve players, and the only noticeable one that I would probably mention, or two, is Luke Shaw was loaned out to Crystal Palace and Marcus Rojo was loaned out to Sheffield United. So let's go and have a look now to see how they coped in League 1. Also, pretty much as expected, Manchester United have also dominated League 1. They played 46, won 43, drew 1 and only lost 2. And those 2 losses were against Coventry and Blackpool, both at home, and they were both 2-1 losses. Scored 132 goals, conceded 25, a massive goal difference of 107, and finished that season with 130 points. And Portsmouth finished with 93, so as you can see, that's a 37 point difference. Insane. Let's see if they strengthened their squad while they were in League 1. Whilst Manchester United were in League 1, they decided not to buy anyone. Unlike the year before where they bought Diallo, this year they've decided to keep the squad they've got. But they have sold a bunch of players, as we can see here. Marcus Rashford went to Chelsea for 41.5 million. Donny van den Beek went to Bayern Munich for 32.5. Andres Pereira went to Leicester for 7. Luke Shaw was then sold to Marseille, as was Diogo Dalot. You know who I mean. And then we got a few youth players here that have also moved on to other clubs, and there were a handful of players which were also released on a free. That includes Sergio Romero, who went to Shakhtar Donetsk on a free. So now that Manchester United are back in the Championship, I'm going to say that they probably managed to get promoted from there as well. So let's have a look to see how they did in Season 3. Rightfully so, we can see that Manchester United have managed to get 3 promotions in a row as they finish the Championship as champions. They obviously played 46 games, won 39 of those, drew 6, only lost 1 game, and that was away to Sheffield United. Scored 118, conceded 29, and have a goal difference of 89, and they won the league by 23 points clear of Sheffield United, and they finished with 123 points. I was thinking I was repeating myself then, but you can see what I mean here. Manchester United are back in the Premier League after the 3rd season. Let's go and see if they bought anyone. So Season 3 was quite a busy one for Manchester United. They managed to bring in James Ward-Prowse from Southampton, Ricardo Pereira from Chelsea, Chris Mepham from Bournemouth, Rainier from Real Madrid B team, Adrian Rabiot from Juventus, Maximilian Voba from Chelsea, Marco Asensio from Real Madrid, Vitaly Michalenko from Dynamo Kiev, Chris Mockery from Dundee United, and also Owen Evans, Christian Pulisic on a loan, Angel Carrera on a loan, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's playing at Bayern Munich. They've also got him on loan. And they did also sell a few players. Wan Mazaka went to Chelsea. Brandon Williams also went to Chelsea, so they bought 2 of their fullbacks. Axel Twanzebe went to Bournemouth. Fred has gone to Bologna. Noam Emerans went to Burnley. And then as we look for the rest of these teams, players, we can only really think about Scott McTominay, who's gone to Fulham. I'm only really covering the major players that that most people know about, but I do like that name. Look, Hannibal. Anyway, let's go and see how they managed in their first year back in the Premier League. Manchester United's first season back in the Premier League would probably be considered a success. They managed to finish 4th, which would get you Champions League football. So they won 22, drew 7, did lose 9, which is a fair amount, but as you can imagine, just being in League 2 and then you finally get back to Premier League and you finish 4th, you're going to be happy with that. They were 17 points away from eventual champions, but like I said, first season back, they're going to be happy. They've got Champions League football. Let's see who they signed in this season. So they must have been very happy with the loan of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, because they've actually gone on to purchase him from Bayern Munich. And then they also brought in Mario Hermoso from Atletico Madrid, Mikhailo Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk, Tammy Abraham was loaned in, and they brought in Francisco Fati from Braga, Luis Diaz from Porto, and Tammy Abraham was then bought for 24 million. So obviously they loaned him in, liked what they saw, and bought him. And in terms of players going out, I'm just going to filter by value. Tiedan Mengi, they managed to make 17 million on him, and he was sold to West Brom. McTominay was then eventually sold to Fulham for 11.7, could rise up to 15. Ilya Ramadani went to Everton youth team, and Herman Tage has also gone to Newcastle's youth team. And then Tahith Chong was released on the free to Lyon, and Asensio was loaned out to Leicester. And other than that, the rest of the players are, what you probably consider reserve players and youth, but we're only going to be covering the key players as to speak. So with that being said, then they managed to finish 4th in their first season. Can they go on and do better by finishing in a higher position in the final season? In season 5, it was a bit of the same really for Manchester United. They've managed to finish 4th again, which again is Champions League football, so they're going to be happy with that. They played 22. No, they didn't. They played 38. They won 22, should I say. Drew 9, lost 7, and then scored 65, conceded 43. So they only had a goal difference of 22. So there's quite a distance away, 14 points away from the champions and 13 from second and third. But they would be happy that they finished 4th again. And I'm sure Solskjær is happy. So finally, we're going to see how they manage to get on with their transfer activity in this final season. So in season 5, they only brought in one player, and that was Rondinelli from Flamengo for 1.6 million. But they did have a lot of outgoings. They've sold Asensio to Leicester. Ruben Loftus-Cheek didn't stay around for long because he was sold to Ajax a year later. Lindelof has gone to Shakhtar Donetsk. Ricardo Pereira has gone to Tottenham. Ethan Galbraith has gone to Burnley. Dylan Levitt has gone to Southampton. And other noticeable ones, Alex Telles has been loaned to Everton. Other than that, I think that's pretty much the key players that we're going to talk about in this transfer window. So now it's going to be curious to see if Ole Gunnar Solskjær managed to keep his job. So let's have a look, see if he's been the only manager in the last 5 years. And the answer to that is yes. Solskjær has been there for 6 years. He joined in 2019 and he is still the current manager. So they have had a lot of faith in him, getting promoted from League 2 all the way back up to the Premier League and finishing 4th twice. He's safe with his job. Let's go and see if he's won any major competitions. As expected, they won the League 2, League 1 and the Championship comfortably. We all expected that, to be honest. But they've also won some other silverware, some big silverware. In 2022, they managed to win the FA Cup and the Papa John's Trophy. And then, in the 2025 season, their reward for finishing in the top 4 earned them the Champions League trophy. So Manchester United are back in the Premier League and they're Champions League winners. And finally, we're going to take a look at Manchester United's top 3 most expensive players. So number 1 is Mason Greenwood, who's valued at £78 million. He's now got 32 caps for England and scored 18. And we're going to have a quick look at his history of his career stats. As we can see, he's been at Manchester United through and through, played a lot of games in League 2, 1 and the Championship, and has been ever since really. So Mason Greenwood is number 1. Number 2 is a new signing, Amad Diallo. He's rated at 72 million. He's an Ivory Coast international, I believe. 37 caps with 18 goals. And let's have a quick look at his history. As we found out earlier, Manchester United signed him from Atalanta for £23 million. And he's played a lot of football with them as well. And finally is a current Manchester United player, Anthony Martial, rated at £67 million. As we can see here, he's got 62 caps for France and scored 15 goals. Obviously, he started his career in Lyon. Monaco bought him for 4.2 before he went to United in the 15-16 season for 51 million. And as we see here, he's played a lot of football from the League 2 all the way up to the Premier League, and I'm sure that includes Champions League. So that's the top 3 most expensive players at Manchester United. So if you've made it this far to the end of the video, I'd like to thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and if you enjoyed this, we're going to have plenty more coming of the What If series. Feel free to subscribe if you like. Until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.